Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Midweek Musings for the 7th of November, 2024. In tonight's episode, we are going to take a look at some awesome third-party toys that are paying homage to the World of Warcraft franchise. Now, the World of Warcraft has captivated millions due to its rich, expansive lore, its immersive storytelling, and a persistent online world where players can explore, battle, and form communities. Its appeal lies in the diverse character classes, the epic scale of its universe, and constant evolution through expansions and updates. Now, players are also encouraged and drawn not only by the game itself, but by the broader community and the expansive universe that Blizzard has cultivated, spanning books, collectibles, and a boatload of other media as well. Now, this dynamic mix has helped WoW sustain a devoted fan base and lasting cultural impact over nearly 2 decades. Now, special thanks to our sponsor, Toyz, tonight for bringing you this episode. Stay tuned for a special offer later on the show. Now, just a quick disclaimer, all the toys unboxed on this show was purchased and nothing was provided as cash for comment. So, if you want to live vicariously through our joy and love for all things toys, grab a refreshment, keep watching, and like everyone else with a toy channel, allow us to be those wankers. Welcome to yet another awesome episode and an awesome Thursday night where we unbox toys and discuss all the lore and the wonders of production, where they jump from panel to plastic and 3-dimensional form. As I said before, the World of Warcraft universe is open slather, and it's an incredibly expansive universe which has definitely changed since I last played those games. I'm certain there would be WoW aficionados here or watching at some point, and I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on toys or merchandising associated with WoW since its inception by Blizzard. But before we continue, coming to you all the way from the suburbs of Melbourne, he's also part of our Victorian contingent, the curator of Jason's reviews on toyreel, a tabletop gaming ambassador, a purveyor of any good toy, and a guy that always shows up in a match. Jason the Bruce, how are you going there?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Very good. Welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
I know, as always.
Lovely looking things. I've already seen these things, so I've had a sneak peek.
I know. Well, we got some. I mean, you had plenty of sneak peeks because I think, but I didn't show you.
You didn't open them.
I didn't open them yet. No. Yeah. Okay. We have a couple of comments and people joining us tonight. Jonathan Hawkins, good evening. Good evening to you too. And you're looking forward to some of the Warcraft stuff tonight. Absolutely. I love Mikey Siciliano. He always goes, wow. I mean, wow. Siciliano. What did I do here, Jonathan? I don't know what I did. I have no idea.
What you did either.
Yeah. Evening, Jason, as well. There you go.
And here I thought I'd been forgotten.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Never forget a guy on the team, eh? There's no I in the word team, that's for sure. Okay, Jason, before we kick off and take a look at some of these amazingly detailed and highly articulated figures I have here tonight, I want to say that the World of Warcraft toys and collectibles is definitely not a new thing. I mean, toy production and technology has come in leaps and bounds, but inherently a property or brand would be silly not to license their IP to make a boatload of money as well. I, for some reason, like to use boatload tonight. I don't know, so I'll continue using it. Truly, if you look at what has been available in the toy aisles for World of Warcraft, we've certainly had a nice little spread of different options available over the years. And while this is not necessarily a very defined list. It's sort of a broader list of the notable action figures that have come out throughout the year. So, just for everyone's sake, or for FYI, I mean, DC Unlimited made some. NECA, I know, also made some. Funko Pop also made vinyl figures of key characters. Mega Bloks, Mondo, I think Blizzard exclusives, as well as Jinx minifigures. For DC Unlimited, they had an extensive line. I mean, for the time, it was pretty extensive, with a lot of iconic characters such as Arthur, Thrall, Illidan, as well as Sylvanas as well. Then NECA produced a fairly good line. There was a very nice version of Illidan Stormrage. Funko Pop had all their vinyl figures. I mean, if you're into vinyl pop, sure. And then Mega Bloks did these small buildable figures of wild characters and creatures. And then, if I remember correctly, Mondo did something, not particularly figures, but they made some collectibles that were related to Doomhammer and Murloc as well. And then Blizzard exclusives, obviously, with their limited edition figures and statues, including the Overwatch crossover series. And then Jinx minifigures also had a mini range of classic characters that included Thrall, Jaina, and Gromash. So now, as far as what we coin as unlicensed offerings, these usually may include custom fan-made figures, third-party resin statues, or 3D printed models. Now, talented fans can usually create limited-run custom figures of popular characters. Now, these can be found on sites like, for example, Etsy or collectible forums, but they kind of vary in quality. And then resin statues have companies in the gray market that occasionally release highly detailed resin statues of Warcraft characters, and these often target high-end collectors but are typically unlicensed. And then with 3D printing, with the rise of 3D printing now and downloadable files for Warcraft characters, these things are very, very highly available, and fans can print, customize, and paint their own figures, although most of them are unlicensed as well. I mean, anything with 3D printing. I'm sure you can attest to that, Jason, because there are people in the tabletop gaming community now as well that 3D print, correct?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Love it or hate it, it is a massive space right now. To the point where, I mean, there is a problem there with people copying stuff, obviously, which happens with every media.
Yeah, exactly. So, anything you're going to get, you're always going to get third-party stuff, or people just pirating stuff, or, like you said, doing stuff that's unlicensed. I'm not one of those guys that sits on a moral high horse and sort of says, oh, I can only do official stuff and I won't do any third-party thing. That can be a bit hypocritical in my book, I think, because I think where you have a variety of things and collectibles and toys that are available to you and done well, then I think at the end of the day, everyone's trying to make a buck and everyone's trying to service the industry. I think that's okay. What I don't believe in is piracy, obviously, and things where it's not properly, like I said, licensed. I'm sure a lot of that happens, but who are we to judge anyway, right? So like I said, some of these things, I'm not sure if they're properly licensed, but at least they're paying, like I said, homage, and they're inspired by Warcraft. I think while licensed figures offer quality and are authentic to the source material, unlicensed figures provide more niche and custom options, and it generally fills the gap in character and designs that are less, I think, represented in official products. Fundamentally, unlicensed figures lack Blizzard's official approval and can vary in availability and quality. However, saying that, these third-party companies are paving a new path for collectors and manufacturing some incredible characters, providing a gateway for high-end collectors and passionate fans. That's my take on it. Would it fair to say?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think I'm not saying this is necessarily the moral right or wrong, but one of the things 3D printing that I remember from very early in the 3D vision was there was a company that allowed you to get a printed statue of your character from the game. This is much earlier, before 3D printing was as widespread as it is now, before you could buy your own things at an affordable price. And while, yes, there's still an element of piracy to that, at least you were printing something that you had created and it meant more to you, as opposed to I'm going to 3D print things of Mario or Sonic or something.
Yeah. Okay. Let's quit mucking around and take a look at the first piece. Now, to put this in a bit of context, I first found this guy when I was desperately looking for some World of Warcraft figures and hopeful that there would be some modern realizations on the market. I think everyone that knows me well also know that I love mystical and mythical creatures. I'm into all things sword and sorcery. J.R. Tolkien is like my fam, and knights, orcs, and dragons are my jam. So when I saw this online and read something along the lines of Hero Toys, Demon Hunter, not Illidan Stormrage, I was like, yep, what's that? So lo and behold, there's a company called Hero Toys, and they've released this magnificent modern toy that bears a striking resemblance, in fact, almost a clone image of Illidan Stormrage from the game. And I'm like, mate, like, what rock have you been hiding under? Anyway, if any of you have been keeping an eye on socials or are aware of the copious amounts of third-party companies servicing, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, the three we will discuss tonight so far, to my knowledge, are producing World of Warcraft-inspired modern action figures. Now, these are Hero Toys, MetyToyz, and also MetyToyz. Now, MetyToyz, aka MetyToyz. They used to be called MetyToyz, but they're now called MetyToyz. There's also a company that are making orcs only and only orcs called Star Studios, and they have a line called the Ancient War line, comprising mainly of 2 orc models, one green and the other one in tan color. Now, all of these are available and have been available or are available for pre-order on Sugo Toys, hence why, for me, they are the one-stop shop for me when it comes to buying more obscure and third-party toys. I cannot be asked trawling websites to make a simple purchase. So on that note, we are bringing you a special discount code tonight, courtesy again of Sugo Toys. So I'm going to flash that on the screen. Now, there you go. Tonight, enjoy 10% off site-wide on both pre-order and in-stock items. This excludes special order products, wallet credit, and mystery boxes. This ends on the 17th of November. You've got exactly 10 days to grab your stuff. So if you see anything that we're talking about tonight and it's on the website, I'm going to run through a couple of things. Here's your chance. Now, okay, from Hero Toys, we have this bad boy looking at the box. I'm going to bring this guy over here. Okay. Not sure you can see this. This is the main box. It doesn't really give much away unless you have already done sort of a lot of research. Nothing really suggests there is really an iconic character from the World of Warcraft inside, other than, I think, the demonic art, the sigil, and the hint of the Warglaives. There's really not any depiction of the man himself. Now, I'm totally okay with this because while I'm a big sucker for box art, I feel Hero Toys have invested more in the contents inside. So you can see it says Hero Toys here. It says it has all the demonic head, as I said before. The Hero Toys logo, very obvious, back here as well. A nice little kind of glossy embossment on the sort of demonic head, and also the sigil and some of the it's like an embossed kind of thing. So it's very nice, even though very simple, still very well done. Now I'm going to put this guy down, and I'm going to basically introduce, ladies and gents, I present to you the Demon Hunter, aka Illidan Stormrage by Hero Toys. There you go. Check that out. This is in his very beautiful form, highly detailed, incredibly sculpted, well painted, soft goods, massive wingspan. Oh, this thing just looks amazing. Don't you reckon? What are your thoughts straight away?
The first thing that stood out to me when I was looking at it was the wings. The fact that there's a second color within them, which is very, very subtle, it just makes it stand out. It's the sort of thing that you don't tend to get from mainline releases, is those sort of small, subtle details. Like the veins and the wings are quite nicely sculpted as well.
Because you mentioned before that you notice even the shades in the wings as well, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I agree, Jonathan. That looks sick. Absolutely, like incredible. Look, let's give people a bit of a primer on Illidan Stormrage. I think he's one of Warcraft's most iconic and complex characters, known as the Betrayer, a former night elf and a demon hunter. He's kind of really driven by a blend of ambition, I think, and a fierce desire to protect fundamentally Azeroth, even if that means embracing forbidden powers. His transformation, including his demonic appearance and chaotic methods at times, often puts him at odds, I think, with allies and enemies alike. He's very vilified, but even though he's vilified, I think Illidan ultimately plays a very crucial role in Azeroth's survival against the Burning Legion, for those of you guys that are familiar with WoW. And I think he embodies the theme that sometimes to fight darkness, you must harness it. That almost sounds like Hellboy. Sorry, I digress. Lol. Anyway, Illidan Stormrage, the infamous Betrayer, is one of the most complex figures in the world of Warcraft. He, like I said again, he's this sort of tragic anti-hero who has like wielded dark powers just to protect Azeroth, often at a great personal sort of cost. Now, I'm going to go through again and show you the wonderful figure that is, and then we're going to go through each accessory. But I'm also going to talk about some of the key features that I find very nice on this particular figure. You have the markings, you have the armor, you have the weapons, and then we can obviously talk about his powers and abilities, although this little plastic thing here does not have powers or abilities, but you can imagine they do, okay? As you can see, his body is covered in what I call arcane and fel, FEL, like those people that are into Warcraft, fel tats, like tattoos and things like that. These are meant to enhance his demonic powers and so it's, I guess in a way signify his status as a demon hunter itself. He wears very minimal ritualistic armor, not even any armor if you think about it, primarily braces and greaves and a harness, because this is great and practical for agility when it comes to battle, and it's very symbolic of his rejection, I think, of the traditional elf attire. Now, one of the key things about Illidan, I think, and the main features or my features are the weapons that he wields, and he wields the twin blades of Azeroth. It's an iconic warglaives claimed from a demon lieutenant or lieutenant, however you want to say it, whether you want to say it Americanized or Australianized. They're powerful weapons, essentially channeling sort of fel energy. So I'll see if I can show you that, but because I'll talk about it in a minute. And that's the warglaives there. Very, very nice. We've got a couple of, yes, Pen, we do have a Sugo discount code. You can see it across the ticker box now, so you can certainly help yourself. That is very nice box art for sure, Jonathan. And yes, and always loved using Illidan in Warcraft 3. So yes, we have also Jonathan, who is a big fan of Warcraft. Okay, so like I said, he has powers and abilities. His mastery is essentially in fel magic. He's able to turn into a demon with enhanced strength and durability. He has this thing called spectral sight, allows him to see magic and hidden enemies, compensating for his blindness. Hence, you'll notice that he has a little black cloth. Though this figure actually has a light up function where you can actually light his eyes up. He also has fel and arcane magic. He draws on both fel and arcane energies, making him very versatile, or highly versatile, and very lethal actually compared to some of the other foes. And as usual, immense agility and combat skills, exceptional agility, exceptional reflexes, and he's basically a master of melee combat. And he's a very I would say a very formidable foe, something you don't, or some person, or some entity or sentient being you don't necessarily want to run into. So I don't know how many people actually, like using him or have played that character, but yeah, you don't want to muck around, Jason. Definitely don't want to muck around.
No, he's definitely a character that you don't want to mess around with. He's also been part of some of the most iconic stories that they've ever been part of. Like he was there for the Frostmourne when Alden first turned? Possibly, I mean, it's probably my favorite moment in Warcraft history. Is that moment where he turns, trying to protect his family, he turns into the very thing, essentially, if not worse than what he was trying to fight. And this character quite famously leads him down that path and then kind of pays the price for doing it. It's possible that may have been retconned a little bit in WoW. I'm not 100% sure how they changed it there because I missed that chapter. But the original version of that story is just iconic.
Yeah.
Arthur, sorry, yes. I knew I was saying it wrong.
Yeah. So Jono he certainly loves his WoW. So yeah. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this figure now that it's slightly up close. I know it's not in hand, Jono, but I got to tell you, and I got to say, Jason, that this could possibly be one of my top 10 figures for 2024.
It's absolutely stunning. I know I've kind of hinted at that already, but even the soft goods, like that's a detail that you didn't necessarily have to have as soft goods, but it's so much better because it is.
Yeah. The soft goods are nice. Everything about it too. Even the wings, when I was setting this up, are actually ratcheted. So as you can see, they're ratcheted, and because of the hooves and that genetic makeup, it stands really, really well. So you can see that it's on this thing here. It poses really well, has great balance, and it's a chunky, heavy figure, very chunky. Thank you, Ben. I love you too, buddy. Thank you for saying hi. We love you, Clintoni Filoni. I love you too, Mr. Keenan. Thank you very much for saying hi. Although this is not really a jam. I know it's not Transformers related, but thank you. So let's just look at some of the accessories, shall we? The stuff that came with it. So there are in the box itself a total of 6 hands. So what I'm going to do is swap over to this camera. I actually, so you currently see the hands on, I've swapped over the hands on the figure, and then additionally you have 6 set of hands. So you have some open palm ones and some really cool kind of like these sort of things where, it's like, how do you describe these hands? Like, summons, you're trying to summon something.
It's like he's summoning or casting something. You could also say that he's kind of threatening to slash somebody with it. Depends on how you angle it.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was just reading the comments about everyone sharing love in the room. That's great. It's better to have love than it is to have. Okay. It doesn't include an extra head, unfortunately. So you're kind of stuck with this guy. So he's going to kind of look like pissed all the time. It would have been nice, but I think given the accessories, and I'll show you the amount of accessories that have come with this figure, it's pretty good. So probably would have been nice to have a different head, but hey, you got a blind guy. He's got some horns. He's got long hair. I mean, what else, right? Jonathan said something. I love you too, Pen-chan. Thank you. Jonathan goes, I don't think WoW reconnects too much because WoW continues directly after the events of Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, though I haven't played WoW in years, so not fully up with the WoW part of the story. Oh, gosh, everyone's loving. And what about showing Jason some love? Can we show Jason some love too? I love Ben Clinton and Pen. That's right. Beat that. Okay. All right.
Okay. We're not here for me. We're here to admire action figures.
Action figures. That's right. Okay. So going back to the accessories. Now, I have one accessory here that I'm going to talk about. And the first one is this really interesting thing called the Skull of Gul'dan. Now, what exactly is the Skull of Gul'dan? The funny thing is, you know what? Before the show, I did not put the batteries in the figure, but this piece is actually used to turn the lights on in his head. which is, I think, magnet. So they have a little magnet you can see at the bottom here, and all you literally got to do is essentially go near the head and you do that and it turns it on. But sorry, folks, I forgot, right? So busy preparing the show. But yeah, you just move the skull as close as you can to the head and it turns on the lights. So hopefully I'm going to use this guy in a bit of a nice photography session as well. I certainly haven't done any toy photos for a long time. But anyway, what is the Skull of Gul'dan? The Skull of Gul'dan really, for me, is a powerful, corrupted artifact in the World of Warcraft lore. It once belonged to an warlock called Gul'dan, and it became imbued with immense fell magic after his death. Now, the skull grants anyone who wields its vast demonic power and knowledge, but at the cost of corruption. It plays a very key role in Warcraft's story, notably in the transformation of Illidan Stormrage himself, who absorbs its energy to gain incredible strength, his demonic abilities, as well as spectral sight. Don't forget, he's blind, but he has spectral sight. Now, the skull symbolizes the dangerous allure of forbidden power and the devastating consequences of its use as well. So that is what the Skull of Gul'dan is. Another additional feature that we have, and I hope I got it here, is, for example, now as you can see in this figure, he's got his wings on, right? However, if you don't want to put his wings on, you got this little thing here, which you can plug his back and have him wingless. You can rock him wingless if you want. Body plug to go wingless mode. So that's another accessory. We also have a fell flame accessory, which is pretty cool. So that kind of lights up as well. Actually, it doesn't light up. I'll tell you what does light up is the little minion coming up in a sec, which I'll show you. So that it comes with this guy, which is pretty cool, right? That's the fell flame accessory. And we also have, for those of you guys that want to know a bit more about lore, we have this thing called a fell Voidwalker minion, which is really interesting. So this has, again, you can see batteries. See if we can show you the batteries are actually at the bottom of the fell Voidwalker. And this thing actually lights up. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, so I have to go in there and obviously pull the tab out to activate the batteries in there. I'm surprised that this actually got through customs, Jason, because now with all the laws in terms of what you can and cannot bring, it's incredible. So, yeah,
I don't think button batteries are the issue there. I think it's the larger ones.
Well, a lot of toys that have been buttons or toys, button batteries in toys apparently have been flagged in customs. So you've had more issues trying to bring them in. Yeah, it is elemental.
Customs have a history of flagging things they're not supposed to.
Yeah. I'm gonna put so a fell Voidwalker minion or of fell. It's sort of magic. Voidwalker is a demon minion in World of Warcraft. It's usually summoned by powerful warlocks to serve as a tank in battle, sort of resembling a dark shadow entity, if it makes any sense. It's infused with a tremendous amount of fell energy, giving it its increased resilience and strength. Unlike regular Voidwalkers, fell Voidwalkers are more aggressive and emit a greenish fell aura, symbolizing their corruption and enhanced power. Now, these demons are often summoned from the twisting nether, sort of bound to obey their summoner's commands in exchange for link to the warlock's life force. So that's there you go. That's your little fell minion right here. What other accessories do we have? We also have next, which is interesting. For those of you guys, this is slightly a deep cut, actually. If you do know your World of Warcraft. Yep, it is. So yeah, we just talked about it being elemental, dude. I don't know what Pen is having a laugh about, but anyway.
I think that was my joke about customs flagging the wrong stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Jono was saying, now give me a water elemental and a Jaina Proudmoore figure. Yep, I don't know. Hopefully I think they're going to make something like that soon. Hopefully. Okay, so the next on the list is this little flower here. I'm not sure you can see that. Okay, so this is a little trinket, however you want to call it. This is the memento of Tyrande, or Tyrande or Tyrande, however you Tyrande. This is how, I mean, you can call it, which is the item which he drops during the Black Temple raid and is the end game icon itself. Now, the memento is a cherished artifact in the world of Warcraft, symbolizing the deep bond between Tyrande Whisperwind, which is the High Priestess of Elune, and her beloved Malfurion Stormrage. It is a keepsake tied to their shared history, I think embodying Tyrande's strength, faith, and devotion. And most players will encounter this item as a small, sentimental relic that invokes memories of his compassion and resilience, often reminding them of the enduring love between Azeroth's most iconic night elf couple. So it's a trinket. It's a nice little thing. So that's part of the accessory that comes with it as well. Okay, what else? Now, I think the most impressive thing definitely is the twin blades of Azeroth. You can see here, these things are oof. That's all I can say. Oof. I've got them sort of. I've got their sort of. So what I've done here actually is to usually put these on. I have already included. You know, you can see that. Put the hand. I've already put the gripping hands on there. Can you see that, Jason? Yeah. Yeah. It's much easier to do that than it is to try and faff around with this when you got the hand attached to the arm. Makes complete sense, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I'm guessing that it's all the only thing they're going to be used with as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they look amazing. So like I said, I can't wait to actually pose this guy. The twin blades, fantastic. Originally belonged to a powerful demon lieutenant named Azeroth. Illidan claimed the weapons after defeating him. And these warglaives are, I think, imbued with fell energy, a lot of fell energy, granting Illidan enhanced power, agility, and sort of being fairly lethal in battle as well. This is recognizable by their curved, jagged blades in green glow. The twin blades are symbols of Illidan's transformation into a demon hunter and his relentless quest to harness sort of like dark powers to fight against even the darkest threats in all of the World of Warcraft universe. So that is it. That is the Illidan Stormrage by Hero Toyz. Incredible. And I'm very, 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 very happy with this purchase. And like I said, probably going to be one of the best toys for me for 2024.
Yeah, this thing is absolutely phenomenal. It's really gorgeous. The detail in the skin work, the fur is really nicely detailed. Even the hooves, like you would forgive them if the hooves were just hooves, right? Yeah. But there's layers in them. You can see the layers of where they've grown, and it's just so pretty.
I'm just going to do something real quick. I'm going to show the wingspan. So I've got the wings put in. Have a look at that. So I can extend that even more. I mean, look at that. Right. So now we got an even larger wingspan. And we'll bring that down. I may have to just rejig that just to give him a bit more stability. And then hopefully he'll be able to, there we go.
While Clinton's doing that, this question is probably, I'm going to guess that Jonathan will probably know this. Without going to Google, do you know what happens in 7 days, or what it is in 7 days?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to see if anyone realizes this or not. I want to see if anyone
I haven't heard mention of it, ironically.
By the way, we have a very special guest friend of mine. It's got Eugene all the way from Adelaide. Amazing detail, Eugene. Absolutely. And for those of you guys that are watch lovers, I am rocking my Ascentus RZE watch here in its azure blue glory. Look at that. Nice.
That's pretty.
Thanks for joining us, Eugene. Very good to see you. Just made a very big purchase via Sugo. Thanks, guys. Absolutely. You're welcome. But look at that. Amazing, huh? Fantastic.
It's really pretty.
Has anyone worked out what is happening in how many days' time, Jason?
7 days exactly.
7 days. Jonathan.
No, I have missed what is happening in 7 days. I think I'm just going to say it then. On the 14th of November, It will be the 20th anniversary of the launch of World of Warcraft in America.
There you go.
We got it a week later.
Now's your time. So, you can definitely and let's look at I'm going to share screen in a minute. I'm going to show you. Let's have a look here. So you can go to this guy.
I'm going to rephrase that slightly. It's been 20 years since the launch. Because if I say 20th anniversary, people are going to tell me off for it not being the year after.
Yeah. Oh, no. So Jonathan goes, oh, nice. Now I feel old because I remember getting it day one. Ha, ha, ha. There you go. Okay. So here's the Demon Hunter page, Hero Toys. It is still available. Limited edition 1/12 scale action figure. Saying that there is a special edition currently available now, and it's black. So while this is available, the other one's also up on pre-order for $189, and it's currently in stock. So I'd highly recommend, if you do want this figure, now is the time to go get it. Yeah,
that's a pretty good price for the size of that with all those accessories it comes with.
Yeah, look, they're certainly not cheap, but again, you're paying for what you get. I think, given the fact that it is a boutique company, it's certainly very nice. But like I said, dude, I'm really happy with mine. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. And I told you, I put it in context. I was looking for like modern, realistic realizations of Warcraft figures, and then I finally found these. In fact, we're going to look at a couple in a minute because there's so much to look at. It's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go over now, and we're going to talk about more toys, because coming from the toy company MetyToyz, aka now MetyToyz, I'm also quite excited to show you an assortment of orcs. But before I reveal these big green golly machines, that's a deep cut reference, by the way. Let's talk about the orcs briefly. Now, orcs in World of Warcraft are a proud, resilient warrior race from the shattered world of Draenor. Originally shamanistic and peaceful, they were corrupted by demonic influence, leading to brutal conflicts and their eventual arrival on Azeroth. They're known for their strength, their honor-bound culture, and also a fierce loyalty to the Horde. Orcs are essentially shaped by both their dark past as well as their pursuit of redemption. Characters like Thrall represent their very complex journey, blending a respect for tradition with the struggle to overcome the legacy of bloodshed. Now, orcs in the World of Warcraft have different skin colors, if you may have noticed, due to their exposure to various magics environments. Obviously, originally brown skin, their color gradually changed as a result of corruption by fell magic, turning many orcs of their skin green, and then later those who directly consumed demonic blood became red skin, symbolizing a deeper level of corruption as well. Over time, now these variations, brown, green, red, and even gray, came to represent the different clans, histories, and the orcs' complex relationship with magic and warfare. Now, the first one I am going to show you is I would say probably the closest thing that you would say represents or best represents Thrall. Okay, so let me do that. I'm gonna, in the meantime, let's see if we got any other comments. Made a good purchase, fan. I feel old. Yes, Panchan. Yep. Big smiley face. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put this guy away. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring one guy up here, which is gonna be awesome. Let me see if I can slowly put this guy down here without killing him. Okay, this next guy is something that I have been actually waiting for. This is now all sold out on Sugo. If you snooze, you lose. All sold out. It was there, and it went like hotcakes. Let's have a look. Now, you cannot tell me that does not look like Thrall. It is fantastic.
I love the birds.
I love this big, massive, fantastic, orc. It just looks sensational. In fact, there's a bit of conjecture when it comes to some of the characters and how they look, because there's also the movie World of Warcraft, and then there's the lore itself. But this one is incredible. Now, you know, if you look at the summary in terms of the markings, I'm going to just swap cameras now. Let's see if we can hold it up here, and then you can just check out probably from this angle is a way better than what it used to be before. The markings, Thrall has no tattoos, no magical markings. His identity is defined by his sort of unshakable sense of honor and resilience rather than external symbols. He does have a lot of these different things here, and I'm not saying that this is Thrall and it's actually very source accurate material. It's MetyToyz interpretation of what Thrall is. Okay, he's the foundational character. Known as Gol is a foundational character in World of Warcraft, and he's sort of, like I said, there's this journey of orcish redemption and leadership. He was raised as a slave. He rose to become the war chief of the Horde, striving to unite orcs and then other races in a pursuit of honor and peace while remaining a very powerful shaman and a warrior. Now, his armor, known for wearing rugged, practical armor, his most iconic set is the Doom Plate, inspired by his shamanic heritage, also adorned with symbols of the Frost Wolf clan. So he's definitely part of the Frost Wolf clan. Now, his weapons, he wields obviously the Doom Hammer, an ancient powerful weapon passed down by the Blackrock clan, symbolizing his commitment to justice and the Horde itself as well. He does have powers and abilities, but let's take a look at the figures first and some of the little bits and pieces and accessories that come with this figure. So out of the box, he actually comes with a separate head. Let me show you that head. I'm going to put him back here, and then I'm going to swap to that camera. He does have a couple of accessories, which I think are really nice. I personally like that head, so I had to swap the head that actually shipped with that figure and change it to the Thrall figure. So he has how many hands does he have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 interchangeable hands. So he currently has 8 interchangeable hands. Hey, Chris, how are you going? Thanks for joining us. Jonathan goes, Warcraft orcs always have had a great presence about them. Absolutely. They're Shrek on roids. Oh, you got to trust Mikey to say something like that, eh? I love him. Love him.
Everybody watch Clinton's face when I say this. I have a controversial opinion. The World of Warcraft movie is better than people made it out to be.
Oh dear. Actually, I didn't mind it.
I'm not saying it's the best movie ever made. I'm just saying it's not as bad as it was made out to be.
It's certainly not the best movie ever made, but I didn't mind it. And I kind of cringed a bit. If you are a WoW fan or you play the game, there was a cringe factor. But anyway, saying that. Okay, so let's have a look. What else? What accessories? Now, this accessory is a massive pauldron, shoulder pauldron, huge. Like, I don't know what this is. It's some hide off a freaking rhinoceros or something. And it's got some massive bone here. So that's amazing. And that goes through his shoulder joint. So I didn't bother putting that on. And then he has this cool head, which is very interesting because it's sort of an armorized head. Certainly not Thrall. I'm not sure if it's again source material accurate, but it's a weird kind of little top bit here that you can sort of put these this bone sort of helmet onto, so that lets it sit flush, and you can kind of semi see his eyes come through as well. So that's shipped with the figure. Then, as I said, I'm not going to show you a whole bunch of there's feet. So rather than you use his armored foot device attachment, you can also have him in bare feet, and like I said, massive assortment, all these different hands as well. So a lot of accessories actually for this wonderful figure over here. I love the color green. I'm a big orc kind of guy. I love orcs. I think you are going to talk about orcs, maybe, Jason? You wanted to
Oh,
sort of
I
maybe.
was actually looking up the history of orcs because it's a little interesting. Like orcs feature in everything, right? I mean, most famously, it comes in Tolkien, but it's Tolkien drew his stuff from history. And I was actually
Yeah.
trying to look up where in history they come from, and historically, we can't actually trace it. There are origins to English. There's origins from France. It's basically got origins everywhere, and we can't actually figure out how. We seem to have had stories of orcs for as long as we've been around, pretty much.
So that is a good point, but I think World of Warcraft, and that's something I should have actually talked about today, but I don't want to get into that too much because they also have their own origins of orcs.
That is true, yes.
Yeah. So
one of the only ones that didn't just copy everybody, actually.
Armored foot device shoe. Yeah, probably his wearables. Yeah, exactly. So, but
I have bad news for you, Clinton.
Yeah, tell me.
This is an army builder figure.
No, it isn't. This is Thrall.
But you can easily make different characters with this.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm going. I know you are taunting me, you bugger. Actually, so if you didn't miss out on Thrall, there are other figures and possibly action scale figures in the WoW universe that are also available currently. And this one coming up, I have on pre-order. You can join the wait list. I'm going to show that to you. Let's see if we can share screen real quick. I'm going to share screen. Stop screen. I'm going to share screen. Give me a sec. And we're going to look at the Warlord Orc Warrior. No, actually, the Orc Warrior. There's different versions of it on Sugo. So this one you can buy, but it's pre-sold out, so you can join the wait list. That's something I have coming. To me, I think, yeah, absolutely. So going again on what you said about having army building, this for me is a great army builder. Right. Fantastic. In fact, I did get this, so I'm definitely waiting for the pre-order to arrive and should be soon as well. And it's pre-sold out. Join the waiting list. Okay. The other one that you can actually possibly look at is this guy, which is another version of an Orc Warrior, and that is this fella here, now rebranded MetyToyz. See? So MetyToyz and MetyToyz are essentially the same. For any of you guys that actually checked out behind the scenes or some coverage of the Wonder Festival in Shanghai recently, MetyToyz had a booth, and they were formerly known as MetyToyz. It's very confusing. Hero Toys, MetyToyz, MetyToyz. I feel like I actually tried to speak to James today at Sugo and say, hey, look, you deal with these guys. Who are these guys? Are they actually Hero Toys, MetyToyz, or MetyToyz? He said, look, I couldn't tell you. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it needs a different head for me to be an army builder, but the shield and axe are the typical orc grunt weapon loadout. Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that you guys should have a look at. For me, it's a no-brainer. Again, available now for pre-order. So this one hasn't sold out yet. ETA is Q1 next year for $159. But if you use your code tonight, you get a 10% discount. And if you pay via bank transfer, you get another additional 3% discount, which is pretty good. Lovely photos. Look at that. I don't know whether you can see that, Jason, but
yep,
very nice.
I love the axe. That axe it's like the Sword of Omens, but it's an axe.
Look at that. Look at that standard, eh? That
it has the Eye of Thundera in
it. Ooh, look at that. That's a nice photo as well. Yeah, very good. Ooh, come on now. Wow.
It's got lights in its eyes too, by the look of it.
That looks menacing. I hope so, because I know if Hero Toys are making light up features for heads, then there should be no reason why they're not doing it for this one. I feel like that is I feel like the picture going back is probably an unhelmeted head. Hopefully we get a couple. Oh, okay, we can see here. No. So the helmet
just
does
a
go on
helmet.
head itself. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Be
would
interesting.
guess that helmet is probably going to be flexible then, so that
Oh,
it'll fit
absolutely.
on smoothly.
Yeah. I'm just hoping the light. I feel like the eyes have been painted on, tweaked in Photoshop. So
It's
that's
possible.
a shame. Yeah.
I found one of their toys that I want to pre-order.
Yeah. So that warlock does look. The warlord actually looks great. Beg your pardon, Jason. Can I ask you a question? Go on, Mikey. What do you
Ask
want
me
to
as many questions as you like.
Okay, mate. How much did you spend on Zugo tonight? Did you buy up big? Like, tell us.
I've been a good boy so far. I haven't spent a cent because I'm on here doing this.
Good boy. Good boy.
One thing I do want to say, like while we're waiting for Mikey's response,
yeah,
like I want to give some props to World of Warcraft here, and I want to make something like this is coming from somebody that, from a WoW perspective, I wasn't really a player. I love the background, I love the lore, but I wasn't really a player of the game. That is on a list of games that you can count on one hand. And I'm talking about Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Mario, Doom, and World of Warcraft. Games that legitimately changed the entire industry. There's a very small number of those games, and this is probably the one that changed the industry the most. There are still people trying to copy the game's success today.
Often imitated, but no.
None of them have really succeeded. No,
don't think so. You know, when I played, I started from like 1 and then went to 3 and haven't touched it since. But that's why when these guys came out, I was like, I gotta have some plastic in its 3-dimensional form.
Jonathan Hawkins was talking about Warcraft 3 earlier, and that was I remember playing Warcraft 2, but Warcraft 3 was the highlight. I remember the story. I remember the moment where he turns, the opening of the expansion where he comes and just destroys the castle. It's just glorious.
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot there was a strategy game.
Anyway, for all the
Jonathan.
I know. I'm going to basically put a comparative orc here. So I'm going to Fury Clan orc now from World of Warcraft. Sorry, Mythic Legions, World of Warcraft. So that is, hopefully this guy will stand and not topple over because it's very, very contentious. Okay. I'm going to swap over to this camera now. And I'm going to give you guys a look at the size comparisons and the differences between Thrall, which is the MetyToyz. Then you have the Fury Clan Orc, which is red. And then you also have this larger guy here. So it's sort of in the middle of all of them, sort of in the middle. Yeah, interesting size comparison. What I might do, though, is take them off like that. Put him side by side so you have a better look at its. There we go. A better look at that in terms of sizing. Jonathan was saying that even the World of Warcraft strategy games have been copied a lot as well. I agree.
Yeah, that's why I made the comment. I forgot there was one.
Okay, so Fury Clan Orc from Mythic Legions, your standard 6-inch, usually slightly bigger, and then that's your MetyToyz figure. I'm going to take this guy off, and I'm going to put this guy on, and then you can see now the difference between both of them. So the greens are slightly different as well, but man, I love orcs. I absolutely love orcs.
Orcs are cool.
Yeah. In fact, if you're speaking of South Sydney orcs, Mikey, and Jath and Jonathan can confirm this. A majority of the orcs in World of Warcraft, in fact, depending on what the clans are, they do have red, green, and silver. So it's a combination. Obviously, their skin of green, and then a lot of the armor is essentially in red and silver as well. So there you go. Definitely South Sydney.
I think Mark is just describing himself there, isn't he?
He loves it, eh? Now, so that is the MetyToyz edition or representation or realization of Thrall. I like it. I love it. I think it's probably one of the best figures that I ever bought. Money well spent when they first went up on pre-order at Sugo Toys, and I'm so glad that I have them now. So I'm just gonna swap to this camera and just show you this guy in all his glory. Very, very tasty. I love the detail. I love, everything from his armor to his battle armaments, his loincloth, his buckles, all the dry brushing, the paint application, and even the soft material that you have in his body sculpt as well. In fact, if I can say truthfully, this is very reminiscent of Storm Collectibles, the quality in terms of the build and the manufacturing sort of material that they use as well. Very, very similar to Storm Collectibles. When I first saw these guys, I was a bit skeptical. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe they were just reused bodies or bucks. But once I finally got these guys in hand, I was like completely blown away. So yeah, anything orcish, I love. So that's it. That's Thrall. And I do have one more orc that I'm going to show people and move on. Before that, yeah, most of the horde, as Jonathan is saying, are the red and silver armor. You are correct. Thank you for confirming that. Fantastic. What do you think of Thrall? The color, great, hey, just amazing.
I really like it. I've painted a few orcs over my time, and personally, I prefer that paler look. It's just a personal preference that I have. I mean, the darker when you're painting them up is kind of how everybody does it. So I kind of prefer when it's a slightly different. I prefer the paler green. I just think it feels more natural.
Yeah, absolutely. I like kind of like that very rich green as well for certain orcs. I don't know, but again, it maybe is a preference. But like I know what you're saying. You like sort of more that sort of
more literally, it's just a preference.
Colors, a muted color. Yeah. Cool. Okay, let's look at the next one. So again, MetyToyz. This guy, I think, probably would best represent. I don't know, Jonathan. You may agree or disagree with me, but this next orc, same bunch of guys made by MetyToyz, is I think what would be their version of Durotan. Now, there's conjecture here as well, and I said before to you, Jason, that I felt that Thrall looked more like Durotan from the movie than this guy, who is supposedly in their mind is more homage to Durotan.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. So to me, this figure bears no mystical markings, but it's quite distinctive in terms of the armor that represents the connection, I think, maybe with the Frostwolf clan, sort of their rugged, icy homeland of Draenor. He sort of, again, the armor itself, you could say, is very durable. From here, all the chains and the different things, including his gauntlets. There are two very heavy pauldrons that I think are sort of reminiscent of the armor or the clan armor that's forged, that's made from sort of leather and fur. The leather and fur that you have is this guy over here. Now, that is his pauldron. So what I'm going to do, actually, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put Durotan or MetyToyz version of Durotan up here. I'm going to swap to this camera, and you can check him out that way. Okay. But some of these accessories are just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. I'm going to see if I can put that in front there. Okay, can you see that?
Oh, I like that. The paintwork on the eyes is wonderful.
That is his pauldron, shoulder pauldron. That's one side. Now, take note of the color. That's blue. There's another one here, and that's in red.
That's cool.
Right.
I'm getting
Amazing.
masks from this.
This is incredible. So that's his
You know
left
what I'm
shoulder.
saying when I say the theater masks? We have the smiley and the sad face theater masks.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of.
Oh, this is good. So Jonathan thinks, hang on. No, I think more Grom Hellscream before he fully corrupted himself with fell energy and then became red. Absolutely right. I think this guy definitely is more Grom Hellscream before he drank the blood, demonic blood, and then became kind of red. Which, by the way, I do have a red orc here, but I'm not going to unbox him because there's too much to faff around with. So the one thing that also came with this figure that I thought was incredible, yes, those pauldrons are amazing, is this particular helmeted head. I'm not sure if you can see this, but that is fantastic. All right. I know you can even see, you can even kind of see the eyes in there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So nicely.
I'm going to go full screen. Give me a sec. Yeah, John, you are absolutely right. I think you make a very, very good point. What a helmet. There you go. It is an amazing helmet. Check it out again. See if you can see some bloodlust in that eye, in those eyes. Any bloodlust in those eyes? Yeah, you can see that again.
Anybody that's done painting knows how hard that skin is to paint. That is a very difficult thing to have painted.
Incredible. He shipped in this head, and I feel like I want to put this helmeted head on him. And I prefer this compared to, let's say, this current one on here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy off. I'm going to put this head on. Ooh, now, to me, that is menacing. That is menacing. What a helmet. What a helmet. Right. Yeah, so single edge blade, crafted to withstand very brutal melee combat, sort of signifying his strength, I think, or status as a warrior. You know, if we're going back to Durotan again, I'm confused because I don't want to talk about, I should be talking about Grom, but then I'm talking about Durotan. But anyway, most of you guys are familiar with Durotan already, so, you know, what can I say? But that's it. That is MetyToyz, World of Warcraft inspired orcs. We had Thrall tonight. We had Durotan, aka Grom, wherever you want to put it. And then we had the inspired Demon Hunter, Illidan Stormrage. Amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to this one. Check out. I'm going to basically take all the figures and put them in a row and then see what they look like all together.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so
all
I'm
three
really,
of these figures have been absolutely phenomenal for different reasons.
Look, I just cannot tell you how I'm on a bit of a roll at the moment, super inspired to try and get more of these. And I do have, as I said, yeah. If you like green golly machines, then these are your guys for sure. So I'm going to put him here. Hopefully be able to get all that in. And then we have Thrall. And that's it. We have the full cast for tonight's episode. Remember that this is not the end of it, because they're making more. They are making more figures coming up. They, in fact, they are. I've always wanted, also, but mind you, I've always wanted paladins, and I had this discussion with Jono last night, and I really want paladins. So I think MetyToyz or even any human characters, right? Like main human characters. So on that note, they have answered those questions, and they're about to make these guys. This currently now is on pre-order, and it's coming to us very, very, very soon, and that is Toyz GB001 Storm King. Look at that guy.
He looks pretty.
Oh my goodness. Jono. Oh my goodness. So it also even have, okay, so there you go. That's an example of one of the MetyToyz.
Scale is really good.
Buck. And that's coming in. I think that lands probably the end of quarter 4. It's coming pretty soon. I know it's in transit. And a lot of the reviews online have deemed him as a miniature 1/6 scale figure, because he has this function where you can actually manipulate the eyeballs in the 1/12 scale head, which is crazy. So Toyz, Hero Toys, MetyToyz, whatever freaking toy company you are, I reckon it's all the same. And for some reason, they're just taking over the entire WoW franchise, and they're doing it hardcore. So it's just amazing. Yeah, it's definitely definitely needs humans to counter your orcs as well. Kind of Arthas, but not at the same time. And
that was what I was thinking.
Well, let's see if Jono can see who this guy pays homage to. For example, there's another one that I'm going to show you, and this guy is going to be sensational as well. See if you can bear any resemblance or correlation to who this particular guy is.
So I just loaded up.
Yeah. Is it loading up now?
Yep.
Yep. There you go. Oh my goodness.
He'd look really cool with a very large fancy sword that's totally not corrupted at all.
Look, multiple head sculpts,
crown, which just happens to be blonde.
Yeah, all the magic effects, multiple blades and hands. I'm straight away. Okay, Jono, if you look at this image straight away, who do you think he best represents? I want to hear what Jono has to say.
It's very clearly meant to be Skeletor.
It's not. But
I know who it's meant to be. I'm being sarcastic.
This should be available on the Sugo site as well. I couldn't find their listing on Sugo, but I'm sure it will be very available. So this is.
I'm looking at it right now on Sugo.
Oh, great! Send me the link. I'll put it up on Sugo, please. Please go to Sugo, because if they have it on there, it's going to definitely go well with GB001. It's Arthas after corruption. Fantastic. Absolutely. So it kind of, I don't know, but there was a part there where it kind of looked like the Lich King as well. But maybe that's just me being off with the fairies. You've just sent me the link. Yes, you have. And this is BR002 available. The sale ends in 32 days for $114. Let's have a look on the Sugo website. And dude, okay. Enduin, darkened version. Can you see this? How incredible is this? Oh my God. That is fantastic.
So
yeah. It is absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Let's look at some of the images, shall we? Soft goods. Then obviously with your blonde portrait. Storm prints. Oh, incredible. Look at those. So I would assume this would be the second in the first wave, GB001 being Storm King, and then this GB002 being Dark Storm Prince. For all you World of Warcraft guys that are into finally some highly detailed, highly articulated, superbly painted miniature works of art, this is the time to get into it. Look at that movable eye function for a 1/12 scale figure. That is incredible. And at $113 or $17 or whatever it is, you pay more for figures that cost you twice as much for barely any of these accessories and any of these functions, and that well painted. So is it worth it? I can tell you, having Illidan Stormrage on hand, as well as some of these orcs, if you're serious about that, it's a no-brainer for me. If I like a particular franchise or a certain brand, I just go hardcore for it. So yeah. So oh wait, Anduin is the kind of Stormwind. So it is, yeah. So you got 32 days to buy. It is at the I think estimated time of arrival. It says Q3 2025. And yeah, you can pay the deposit. So all these are available in pre-order, so you can definitely use your codes as well if you want to pre-order any of these. So there you go. Okay. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up. Jason, what do you think?
I think they've all been phenomenal. I have something that I've added to my cart at the moment, which is from that company, but it's not a WoW one. There's a necromancer that they're doing, and I need to have it in my life.
The necromancer. Love it. Yeah, tell us what is it? Show us the link. We can pull it up.
I could share the screen.
Please do. Please do. Please do. Yeah. So once again, make sure that you use your discount codes. And it's only limited to one redemption per user, so don't go crazy. Make sure you put it all in the basket. Coupon code is toyreel. Enjoy 10% off site-wide on both pre-orders as well as in-stock items. We also want to thank Sugo Toys, as always, for coming on board and providing value for all our customers. I can see that, by the way. Let's share screen. Add that to the stage, and there you go. A necromancer.
This thing is phenomenal. Like, even just that, just taking the armor off, it looks like a completely different figure. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. Is it currently on pre-order? Or
it's on pre-order.
Pre-order as well. Okay. Cool.
There is also an imp that you can get for it, which is separate. So if I go back and bring up the imp, look at this little guy.
Lovely.
Perfect little minion.
Pen goes, you need a new code each week. Well, possibly. They've been very good. James is always good. He will give us. It is badass looking, for sure. And hey, what can I say, dude? Perfect time. Jason, if you want to get it, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
On that note, I want to thank these guys, and we'll be right back after this.
This episode of Toyreel is proudly brought to you by Sugo Toys.
All right. Yep. Thank you very much, Sugo. Appreciate it. And Jason, my partner in crime, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. And thank you all for tuning in.
Glad to be here.
And Pen has gone, I've used your code already. Your fault. My wallet blames you. Hey, come on. What can you?
You're welcome, Pen.
We've got to share the love. You got to do it. You got to do these things. Thanks for another great show, boys. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated. Pretty soon we'll be working with you guys too at Skig Toys. So that, looking forward to that. Great show, lads. Learned a lot. Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Jono, as always. Thanks for joining us. And thank you, Pen. Haven't seen you around for a while, Pen. Please make sure you stop by. I think we're doing CollectorCon. Do stop by, say hi, and don't be a stranger. Give us a call, pick up the phone. You're only around the corner. And yeah, we should get together soon just to catch up. Definitely, Chris. looking very, very much forward to working together as well. And I hope everything at Skig is going well. We are doing CollectorCon on the 24th of November. So if you are around.
But by we, he means he is doing CollectorCon. I don't live there.
Well, I always use the word, there's no I in the word team, right? So we are a collective, and Toyreel is a collective. Good
I went
people.
to one in March.
Yeah. Actually, you have
all
been
of my stuff.
You have been doing it. Yeah. CollectorCon. So I will be there too. Can't wait to see you, Chris. Definitely. Penrith. Yes, it is Penrith. CollectorCon Penrith. Yes, sir. That's it. Okay. So once again, long live WoW, and thank you so much. I love these guys. I'm going to go and play with them right now. Enjoy them. And as I said, always make sure you like, share, subscribe if you want to see any more content. Sing out, and then obviously thanks for tuning in. On that note, everyone can go suck some eggs. What do you reckon? For the
Horde.
For the Horde. There you go. Okay. Good night, lads, ladies, and gents. Bye.